being here. Here, Maree is my co-host, and we are excited and happy to be back. Putting ancient aliens to the test and seeing if their theories are. What did the cards think about their theories? And the first show that we did about the crystal skulls was mind-blowing. So if you haven't seen it, I highly suggest you go and watch it because it was amazing. So thank you guys for being here on the chat. Those of you that join us live every day, every time we have this, we're very appreciative of you and your love and support. And for those of you also that watch it after, of course, and those that share and help us out in that support as well. So Maree, I know that we mentioned something before about the crystal skulls, but go ahead and mention it again in case people didn't miss it from the first time.
Okay, so I'll just get them up here. Here we go. So we were talking about the 13 crystal skulls and how when they come together, they actually activate an energy. There's something that happens with them. So I've got a mini template. So I don't know if you can see this. I've already put my little 12 crystal skulls around there. And this is the Master Christ, what's the word for it, template here. And so when I put my 13th crystal skull, which is Clara, so if you didn't see this the other day, I pop it on there and then I just ask for the activation to come through. And as I was saying, it actually helps us to go through into 7th interdimensional energy or spaces. And I can feel this energy as it begins to activate and come up. So if I'm feeling I want to do some traveling interdimensionally, I'll actually pop my crystal skull template up as well to support me with that. So that's what it looks like when you've got the 13 crystal skulls together. So I thought that might be just interesting. And of course, I've got our usual favorite friend, Jasper here with us.
Hi, Jasper.
Hi.
So where did you get that? Where did you get
I got this
template and the skull
through Transference Healing. Yeah, they have the most beautiful templates and setups and help us to unravel mysteries around different things like what we're doing now. So as well. So that's
okay.
Yeah.
So does it come with the skulls? Does the template come with the skulls?
Yeah, you have to divinate which of the middle skull that you're going to get. So it does come with the 12 crystal skulls on the template. Yeah, but then you divinate whichever crystal skull, and Clara was the one that came through. That's how I met Clara for the first time, was when I actually got that template, and then I was drawn to her. So
wow, that's very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So today, guys, we're going to talk about the Nazca lines, and I want to share my screen so you can see. So this is one of them. Here's another one. And these are miles and miles and miles long. Okay. It is just not possible, that Aborigine people could have done this. Okay. So these are huge. They can only really be seen with an airplane. So hopefully you guys got to see the episode that I wrote down before you came. So you have, you can ask some questions. So this is a spider, and this is the astronaut, which we're going to talk about. And these lines are a mystery. That's the reason why I wanted to do this, because I really want to find out what is the scoop. So I wrote down, if you see me looking down, that's where I have my questions. So according to ancient aliens, they were created by the Inca god Veracocha. So let's look and see, Maree.
Yep.
What your thoughts are on that.
So as I've said, I don't know anything about, I haven't watched any of these shows or anything. I did just look at the pictures. So I don't know anything. So I'm just going to be tapping into whatever comes through for me. And if you guys get something as well that you want to add in, or it doesn't resonate, that's okay. But this is just what I'm going to use the cards with and use my intuition with. So Veracocha, is that how you say the name of the god they were saying?
Yeah, Veracocha.
Veracocha. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's have a look and see. So did Veracocha have something to do with these ancient lines?
Inca god Veracocha.
God, Veracocha. Wow, this is really interesting. So the first card that's come up is Strength. So it was definitely a being that was very strong, very powerful, that held a lot of what I'm feeling is it held a lot of sway with whoever was, like human or whatever at the time, was there at the time. And then the next one is the King of Pentacles. So this is master of creation of reality. So I would say that there was definitely some creative being that had something to do with it. So whether it was depends what our, I guess, depiction of a god is. And then the Empress. So if we put the King of Pentacles together and the Empress is a creator. She's the feminine aspect of creation. She's like mother. She can be Mother Earth. It's also, there's wisdom, there's beauty, there's all sorts of things that come through. So they're really three really big, powerful cards that say to me that there was definitely some form of influence as a creator that actually had something to do with this. So I'm just going to pull a clarifying card just to see if it was
would you say
would
you say that the card itself of yes, it was Veracocha has not come out, right? Like
it
not
hasn't
a
come
definite,
out.
yeah.
No. So I thought that's why I'm clarifying. So it's definitely a being.
Right.
And then the Queen of Swords has come out. So this is someone that's a creator again, but also using words and powerful thoughts. And then we got the Ace of Wands. So what they maybe called Veracocha, we sort of probably don't tap into that as much in our timeline now. So that could very well be what they call Veracocha. And what I'm getting is maybe also, we were talking about it earlier, something like Thoth, like how Thoth used to like build pyramids and things like that. Was it that sort of creative energy that was used to do that? So that, yeah. So look, it could be very well that Veracocha that they're saying it was. Definitely a creative force, definitely something that can manifest or make things. So, yeah,
okay,
more than just a human.
Was the Inca god Veracocha an ET?
Okay, let's have a look at that. Okay. Yeah, so the first card that's come up is our Nine of Pentacles. And so to me, this is very independent, a very independent being, a very unique being. You can see they can manifest. So that to me, I've just dropped my other card. Let me grab that. There we go. And then the Fool. So if you put those two together, this is the unknown. So I would say yes. And let's sort of reestablish maybe what an ET is. With my understandings, where it's an interdimensional being that's still within our matrix that we might call an ET because they've got a very different frequency to what we hold on Earth usually. So, and then, which was really interesting, the Nine of Wands has come up. Now, this can mean that there's been something going on, like a battle for something, or it's been a long journey. Also, too, it can mean getting to the crux of a problem. So actually really getting to a point where you understand a problem. So maybe there was a problem going on that needed to actually be shifted. And I've just pulled a clarifying card and we've got Wheel of Fortune. So to me, this is very much change on a big scale. So I would say that interdimensional being had a lot of influence. And again, maybe was doing something knowing that it was needed to hold particular energy or help get through this particular timeline.
Okay, so then let's find out why it was created. So in the show, they said it could be runways to be seen from space, or a way that the Earth people were trying to communicate with the space people, or is it something else? So what do you think? How should we ask that question?
Yeah, really good question. What was coming through to me then, it was also grid lines. So as you know, we have like, energetic etheric grid lines that run around the earth. So so we can ask, was it actually done along these grid lines? And then we can ask a separate question, or was it also maybe used as, like you said, a signal to other beings coming through interdimensionally onto Earth? So should we ask the interdimensional one first?
Well, the grid line is one of the questions.
Oh, okay.
Later on.
Okay, I'll leave that then.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's already popping in. So
okay.
Yeah. All right. So I'm just going to ask if it was specifically done to give these visitors a platform of where to maybe bring their craft through. It looks like it was, because the Fool's there. So so to me, again, that's jumping off, that's jumping, right timing, right place to jump into something. And then the Nine of Cups. So this is wishes and desires and wanting something. So whether it was allowing more craft to come through, because to my understanding, they've got to come through a vortex, or they've got to come through some sort of interdimensional gateway to be able to come in. So that's really interesting. And could it have been also that they used, this is looking into the future, they were using that to guide them back through if there was some distortion or something coming in. I'm getting the feeling as well with this that there was energy that was coming from that area that would actually help them to navigate with, like a frequency of some sort. So, yeah.
Okay.
So that's just what was coming through then with the cards too.
Okay, so which question do we ask? That it was runways, or it was to be seen from space?
Both. It was looking like it was both. It was deliberately done. Yeah. So for both of those. Because of that frequency was almost like a pull. It was giving them like a guidance system as well as being able to physically see them. So an aspect of them is what I'm getting. And Jasper's saying yes as well. So, yeah. So an aspect of it is that.
Okay. How can we find out which ET race created it? Like, is there any way to find out that detail?
Let's ask the cards. I can, I think someone was asking before too, was it Orion? Was it from the Orion lines or something? But I'll just check in and see if it was a particular race. Oh, so my God.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes. I was getting straight away Sirians, and look what comes up, the lion. So the lion, the cat, that's all Sirian energy. There's dog, cat energy that goes with Sirius. So it is, I was getting, if this one comes up, I know it's definitely Sirius, because I was getting that as a message. And then we've got that King of Pentacles again. So those interdimensional travelers could have been very much Sirians that came through. And then we've got the star. So that's definitely a confirmation that this is an interdimensional or other world type being that's coming through and bringing through beautiful energy. So, yeah.
Okay.
So Sirian is what I'm getting. I mean, there could have been multitudes, but I'm feeling that was the initial or originators. So
okay. So then let's talk about this, because this didn't resonate with me. And this is their theory. Their theory is that does the spider represent the Orion constellation and the leg Sirius? So you see how there's a leg there at the bottom?
Yeah.
The leg goes to the side over here.
It's to the left. It's almost like pointing towards
to the
something.
Left.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So
the
what do you want
question
me to
is,
ask?
Question is this true? Does the spider represent the Orion constellation and the leg Sirius?
Okay.
Pointing to Sirius.
Let's have a look and see what the cards say.
I mean, I personally don't see the Orion constellation in it, so I don't know where they got that from, but.
Yeah, so no, the first one is the Chariot. So for me, when the Chariot comes up, then its movement away from that. So it's not actually getting me. And then there's a mystery card here. So we've got our Four of Swords. So there's hidden mysteries. And so I'm not feeling that it's the Orion one. And so this is the worry stress card. So it's for me, I'm not getting that.
Right.
That's actually what it is.
Right.
Whereas the Sirian is still resonating through very strongly with me as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
I didn't even know that they had talked about Sirian, like a Sirian aspect of it.
Okay. All right. No, it has 8 legs. It has, Wolf Love says it has 12 legs. It's not. There's 8. It's just that each leg has 2 lines. It's each leg has 2 lines. If you look in there, this is one leg right here. This is another leg right here, and another leg, and another leg. So there's 8.
Can you pop it up again, Elisa? I think
yeah.
it's not. Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Okay, thank you.
That's all right. I was going, hang on. Let's have another look.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's one leg. Here's another leg right here.
Yeah.
Here. So each leg is basically 2 lines. So see, this one goes around and down. So that's one leg.
Yeah.
Here's another leg. So there's 8 legs altogether, if you see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did they ask why? Did they sort of say why they thought they'd done a spider? Was that a question that came up that we can ask? No.
But we definitely can ask for sure. They did a spider, monkey, like here's the astronaut, here's like an eagle.
And that also looks like a phoenix too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be either of those. Okay, do you want me to ask why there was a spider that was created? Okay.
You can, yeah, absolutely.
That's intriguing to me, is why did they depict those particular animals?
Right, yeah. There's a monkey, there's there's other ones. Let's see if we can find the monkey.
Wow, interesting. So the first card that came up is the Page of Wands, and to me this is about inner contemplation, looking at something new, creating, learning. And the spider, what I understand about the spider is that it's the creator. The spider is, the creator. It's Asclepius, I think, number 13. But it's very much that creative force and creative energy. And then the Hanged Man came up, so surrendering. So when the spider comes through, honestly, I'll get chased by spiders when I'm meant to be doing something and creating something. I have got so many times these spiders chase me. I'm not scared of them, but yeah, or they bite me. I'll find spider bites on me. So for me, I know that's my activation to start creating. So, and then temperance. So temperance is about moving our awareness and our knowing into another space, or physically moving home. So to me, it feels that the spider was almost there to show the power of the spider. So things would have been strategically placed as well, probably on energy lines, so that people could receive that energy, or for the earth. So, yeah.
So can we ask if each character, because some are insects, some are animals, some are people. So did each character mean something specific?
Okay.
I don't know, like if it was animals, it meant I don't know, Sirians over here. If it's
I see what you mean.
I don't know, like does each have a meaning, or it was just like, oh, I want to draw a spider, and then
Okay, let's have a little look and see. Yeah, again, so the Nine of Cups has come up again. So this is what they were trying, what was trying to be put across, and what was trying to actually be shown to people. They actually felt like they'd done that with those depictions. So, and then the Lovers card has come up. So this to me is merging things together to get a bigger picture. So I really feel that it was important with what they did by putting them in those, particular animals. And the Fool. So again, right timing, right space, jumping off the edge, understanding. So maybe they were would have been an energetic aspect as well, but maybe they were hoping to show people, ask questions like, what is this, and look at them all. So definitely there's messages in there like what you were saying.
Like
I feel,
specifically chosen.
Yeah,
It
specifically
wasn't
chosen.
random.
Wasn't random at all. So no, and I'm just going to pull one more on that. Definitely. Look at this. That beautiful Empress card has come up again. And that's the creator. That's that wisdom bringing through something really positive. So, yeah, and I'm feeling, even just tuning out to those images and where they're at, I'm sensing is that there's a certain frequency that comes off them with the intention that they were created from.
Oh, certain
So,
frequency.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so let's see. Let's talk about the astronaut figure. So now we're going to talk about the astronaut. Let's show that up. Okay, this is the astronaut. And I don't know if people know this, but well, I don't want to talk about this because I don't want to influence you. So I'm going to just say, does the astronaut figure represent that they were visited by space people that look like that?
Okay, let's have a look.
That's what ancient aliens say in the show.
That was a visitor. Okay.
That's what the visitors look like.
The High Priestess has come up. So to me, this is, again, there's mystery around this, and it's almost like stepping into our intuition to see what comes up. I'm just wondering, was that actually created at the same time? Because we've got our Seven of Pentacles. I'm wondering if that it's almost like a little bit of a displacement of time. So I don't know what anyone else is getting on this. What's your thoughts, Elisa?
Yeah, my thought was it looks different, less detailed than the others. Looks more like a 5-year-old drew it, and the others look very like very specific.
Yeah, and then the Three of Wands has come up, so it could have been something that was done at a different time. So yeah, it doesn't resonate that it was done at the same time.
Okay. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I always wondered why it looked so like a little kid made it instead of the other ones that are very, specific
very
angles
distinct.
and perfect lines. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, but let's ask the question: if that picture represents that they were visited by space people that look like that.
Okay, let's find out. It does look like it because the Page of Wands has come up again, which is that learning spiritually, learning something, going internally with it. And then we've got the Page of Cups. And so this is like a gift. So it's almost like they were visited, and I'm just getting the feeling that they were shown, because when we get given this gift, it's almost like they were shown how to do this, to record it in their time frame, because then we've got the Four of Pentacles, and this is creating a foundation. This is making it so it's possible, something's possible. So I feel that they were helped with that. So because if I'm just getting the hit now to talk about, like, with the beautiful Australian initial landowners, like, Aboriginal, whatever, when they do their drawings, their beautiful cave paintings, they always have this white being with light like coming out of it. And I know that to me was when they were visited by these interdimensional high frequency beings, because it's showing their light body. So they show it from that spiritual dimension. So maybe this was more from the physical dimension where they, or another question that's just come to me, Elisa, what if it was humans that came from the future through through a actual interdimensional vortex? which they would have seen as an ET.
What had come to me is that Pleiadians use spacesuits with helmets when they come. They cannot breathe this air. They can breathe the air, but they can't. The sun can hurt them major. So when they come like that. And then there's another type of ET that also wears the helmet. They look more like amphibians. So my assumption had been that these were Pleiadians that were being drawn on there.
Okay.
So look, how do we want to ask all these theories?
Well, I was asking, as you were talking about the Pleiadians, I was actually asking to have some clarity on that. And I think you might be right, because the 10 of Cups came up, which is a family group or a group of people. And then the sun, you were talking about how the sun could damage them, and the sun card actually came up. And then the Magician. So this is definitely bringing something from, another dimension or heaven into earth. So it sort of was giving the story as you were saying it, these cards were coming through. So
wow.
You know what? Yeah. So, and that's why I'm feeling maybe it was another time than the original, when the original ones were done.
Right.
Or,
Yeah.
So,
when the first humans, let's say, instead of later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So interesting. So I'll ask for a clarity card.
Yeah.
So the 2 of Cups has come up to confirm that to me. That's bringing people together and relationships. So good call.
Yeah, sometimes my intuition. So I guess the question, does the astronaut figure represent that they were visited by space people that look like that? Then the answer is yes. The Pleiadians, right? That look like that, had a suit and a helmet. Yeah. Okay, very good. So was it created, this is where your question had come in, was it created to conduct electricity? Is there something in the ground that the sky people wanted? It is a nitrate-rich environment. It is used a lot in technological applications. Is it an ancient mining site?
Interesting. Okay. Let me have a look at this.
Yeah. So I guess there's 2 questions there.
Yeah.
One is, first of all, is there something underneath these figures that are important to the ETs?
Okay. Oh, good question. As in minerals and things, you mean?
Yeah,
or energy?
Yeah, nitrate. Like they're saying it is a nitrate-rich environment used for technological applications.
Okay, so let's see if that's what, was an aspect of it. Were they wanting the minerals for themselves in particular? Okay. Wow. So the first card that came up was the World. So I feel it was actually to, benefit like a large group of people, whether it was just the earth. And then the next one that came up was the King of Pentacles again. So a master of creating, a master of reality. So they were definitely using the minerals, because I specifically asked about whatever the minerals or whatever was going on there. And then the 9 of Cups. And so that's what they were desiring, and that's what they were trying to create. So it was definitely being used for, whether it was for themselves off planet or whether it was for the earth, was a positive. It's very positive what it was being used for. So, yeah.
Okay. So is that a yes, that it was?
Yes. I would say yes. It's just knowing where it was used. So.
Okay. There was a question, was it created to conduct electricity?
Okay, let's ask that question.
That's another theory of theirs.
So, and this, so you're talking about the minerals that they maybe have got from there, or with the actual lines that they created?
I don't know. That's the question. That's how they phrased the question.
Okay. So was it used to create electricity or power of some sort, I guess, is the question, isn't it?
Yeah. The question was it created
Yeah.
to conduct electricity according to the ancient alien
Yeah.
theorist belief?
Yeah. Okay. I feel it was created for really good reasons, and it was energetic, because then we've got our Ace of Cups. But I feel it was more than electricity. I feel it was a much higher vibration or something very different. And it was a particular strategy why they did that. Um, yeah, not electricity how we know it today. I feel it's coming up that it was something greater than that.
Okay.
So yeah, so
So it wasn't
yeah,
a physical, like electricity is physical. You're saying it
yeah,
was more of a spiritual meaning to it, energetic meaning,
energetic.
obviously, but
Yeah, it feels energetic. It feels, well, what I was feeling with that when I was pulling the cards as well. It feels like it could act like a grid line, like a power line, but with a different energy. So, I mean, if we talk about, let's say we talk about something like Tesla energy, how it's captured when it comes through, it's etheric energy that gets turned into something that is physical. So I feel that there was definitely something energetic going on there. So, yeah. So it's just not what we understand as
yeah.
electricity, I suppose, is probably the way
Okay.
to put it. What are
So
your
it's
thoughts on that? Like, what was your intuition with that?
my intuition was that it wasn't to conduct electricity, that it was I don't know, to me it was more of like showing them the variety of different, like what you said before, the variety of different animals, insects, like I don't know. That's kind of what I felt.
Yeah. And with the energy aspect, I'm still feeling that it was somehow connected to Earth's grid lines to increase some sort of maybe frequency through the Earth. Because that Knight of Cups has come up, which is a slow, steady movement towards increasing, well, it's emotional, so increasing our beautiful frequency and vibration. I feel it was a slow journey. Yeah, it actually has helped in some way with that energy movement. But yeah, I agree with you. I feel it very specific with those animals and the messages.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then let's talk about if they do have, because remember we talked about how the monoliths had some type of energy, could possibly have some type of energy. So I'm wondering if this is the case here, where is there any specific energy where these were drawn? Let's put it that way.
Okay, so on the Earth, was there a specific like vortex or grid lines or something why it was done there? Is that what you mean?
So were they specific about putting this here in this mountain in this place instead of anywhere else?
Yes.
Like was there something specific?
Definitely. This is the King of Swords. So absolutely, they knew, they'd thought about it. They'd actually, they knew exactly where to put it, and they put it where there was really strong energy lines, ley lines of the Earth. Definitely. And look, what happens is that they can shift, as we know, our Earth grid lines and everything is shifted as well. But for that point of time, that could have been perfect to help it to evolve. And again, that King of Pentacles keeps coming up today. So that master of creating reality, absolutely, they knew what they were doing and they were putting them there. Because I was even getting that earlier, was around these grid lines of the Earth. Why have they chosen there? And it came to me about the grid lines and the energy vortexes that are there too. So could you imagine putting a spider over an energy vortex or I don't know what other people call them, but I see them as a vortex. I mean, that's a creator. That's it's something that can create. So that could multiply that energy.
Yeah, for sure. Did I noticed that one has like an arm going up. Do you see that? Let me put it back up there.
Okay.
See how the arm is going up?
Yeah, so
Right
so
here.
that's his right arm, isn't it? Or her right
Yeah.
arm, whichever.
Yeah.
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 So what are your thoughts on that? Why would you think they depict the right arm going up? So it's a good question. And it is such a different feel to that image, isn't it? To the others.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so different. So
Yeah.
okay. All right. So well, what happens when we raise our right arm? It's like we're
I was thinking saying hi, like
greeting someone. Exactly what I was just getting.
Yeah, that's
It's
what I
like
was
a
thinking.
greeting. Hello. And I'll check on that with the cards, but that was my intuition as well, straight
Yeah.
up. So I don't know what other people in the chat think of that, but that was
Yeah,
my
greeting.
feeling. Yeah,
Somebody
greetings.
wrote
Hello.
greeting.
Yep. So the King of Pentacles again. So yes, it's I know. And then Temperance. So that's actually again that connecting, moving space, moving house, moving into a different way of thinking. So I feel that's what it was. It was like greeting and say it, because it doesn't feel nefarious, does it? I don't feel that picture at all feels nefarious.
No.
So, and it's also because it's such a mystery to people with our Four of Swords. It's a real mystery. So it's almost like making people wanting to make them feel safe. So if you've got both your hands down, whereas if you've got one up, it's very clear to see what it's doing. And so maybe it's like I'm not going to harm you. I'm here. So
Yeah. Okay. So then do this for me just to make sure I understood all the answers. Can you summarize why, who made them? And okay, so we basically found out that the Pleiadians, that this is depicting the Pleiadians, but did the Pleiadians create it, or did
I feel it was Sirian energy. So let's double check that. But I really felt it was Sirian. A lot
even
of
this
Sirian.
one, even the
No,
astronaut? I'm
that
talking
one
about
feels different.
Yeah, the astronaut.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was
so
the one
this
that feels
one,
so different.
So this one. Okay, we got a yes that it was the Pleiadians, but did they create it? Were they the ones who created it?
Okay. Let's have a look.
The other ones, yes, I agree with you. I think Syrians did those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I would say definitely they're different. So because the judgment cards come up. So this is, so if you have a look at that, you can see the angel and the trumpet and the people rising up. So to me, that's something that's different energy. And then the Tower card. So definitely it was a change. It was something different. It was, it just holds a different energy. And this was, I'm even getting, it was a different timeline, different something as well. So yeah, because Pleiadians, I mean, we've got a lot of Pleiades within us, within our DNA, and because that was one of the originals that helped create Earth through the etheric. And so they realized, we realized that we'd actually created karma by some of the stuff that we'd done. So I feel that maybe those cards are also depicting that this was to actually help to resolve some of that karma, was by bringing in an energy or a frequency to these beings that were here. So, which is different. Yeah.
So is the answer yes, that the Pleiadians did create it?
Yeah, that's what I was getting. Yeah,
Okay.
King of Swords has come up. So that's depicting, that was definitely a mind or created by we were talking about the Pleiadians.
Okay.
So so fascinating.
And Ellie was saying, I have learned left hand receives energy, right hand sends out energy.
Yeah.
So that's right hand. Yeah. Okay.
That's why I felt you and I both felt, yes, it's like saying hello. It's like, giving out
Thank
something.
you, Ellie.
Spot on,
Thank
Ellie.
you. Yeah,
I was thinking that too before, Ellie. So you're reading minds. Well done.
Yeah, for sure. And Dennis had a question, and I don't know if this is part of the Nazca line. So what happened to the top of the mountain?
Oh, is it a tier? So the top tier, is that what Dennis is asking? There are
I
no
don't know. There are
pieces of
no
it left
pieces of it
around.
left around.
Interesting, isn't it? Is it a mountain? I mean, that's the first question, because how many
Yeah,
of
this
these?
is a mountain. This is
It's definitely
right
made
now
of
the picture
minerals.
looks like this, but it's a mountain like this.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can ask and see. Okay, now this is really interesting because I don't know if this is relevant, but I'm going to ask this. I was actually getting there's a connection to giants here as well. There's been almost like an
Oh.
overlay with giants being there at some stage. So yeah, so whether that's what happened to the mountain, who knows? Let's just see what I can get through the cards.
It says the top of the mountain is gone.
Yeah. Okay, strength. Okay. So it's the strength cards come up again along with the Empress. So I feel it was manipulated deliberately. It's almost like it was deliberately
taken out.
Taken out, because then there's the 9 of Wands and there's a reason for it, obviously. So whatever was going on at the time, there was a reason that happened. So, it was done by bigwigs at some level.
Do you get any idea or any download as to what it would be for?
I'm feeling it was for a release of energy of some sort. Yeah, so that's just what I got initially. And I'll double check. I'll just tune in. Yeah, so they knew that something was coming, or they knew that something was going to happen, because this is our Page of Pentacles. So we're learning about something in our reality, and they were almost looking to the future, like with it, looking forward and going, well, what do we need to do to help? So whatever the whole aim of it was, there was a change of structure within that reality, within that mountain and that area. So yeah, so I don't know if anyone else has got any ideas, or they're picking up on something intuitively. It's it's really good to get different people's perspectives too, because then you ask new questions and you go, yeah, well, that's a great idea. So it's a learning process for all of us. So yeah, and again, that card's come up. So there was definitely something they were helping with by doing that.
Oh, okay. Okay, very good. Very good. Okay, is there any other questions about the Nazca lines, about any of the, I know that there were others that were different. They were almost like in shapes, in like triangles or something like that.
The actual lines themselves.
Yeah, like especially like obtuse triangles, or like not a perfect triangle kind of thing. I mean, I don't have a picture, but in this one, let me show you. You can kind of see there's a triangle here. See this line?
Oh, yes, I see what you mean.
Here, and then here's another line, and this ends up being a triangle here.
Yes. Okay. I'll get, if you like, I can ask for some clarity as to what they were, because it's so different, isn't it? To that.
It is, yeah.
That bird energy, and the whole energy of it's so different to what we're seeing on the top as well.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm actually getting that they were more following grid lines too. Those the ones underneath that. Phoenix or eagle or whatever it is they're depicting, because this is again, it's jumping off the cliff. It's the right time, right moment for those to come through. Temperance again, so it's a movement of something. It's helping something to shift, to change, getting resolution, and then the Wheel of Fortune. So it's the same message again. It's moving something. So I feel that they were more connected into those grid lines we were talking about, the energetic grid lines of the earth.
Yeah.
That they were following that. Is that what you feel, Elisa?
Yeah, it's what makes sense. I mean, what other reason would they have to having these lines crisscross and making?
Yeah. You know,
Some
and
way
if,
of containing the energy, like the triangle, like making the triangle would contain the energy within the triangle.
yeah, it's interesting because I mean, I've actually we have this amazing map. It's not what you guys would call a mountain, but it's a fairly big sort of hill for us. We call a mountain. It's called Mount Warning, and it's in the foothills. And it was the one that erupted. It's just in northern New South Wales. It erupted, and it created these other sort of small mountains around the place. But I've actually tuned in. I've gone around to the back of it, and I've tuned in, and I've actually seen craft going into it, and it holds so much energy within that mountain. Just when I looked in underneath through my third eye, I could actually see all the places where all the craft were and the interdimensional vortex of it. So I've, you know, sometimes maybe that's what they're also creating is that energetic vortex. So if the grid lines have shifted and changed, it may not be relevant for us today with how our Earth grid lines have shifted.
That's very true. Very true. So going to the next question. Do you have any questions before I?
No. There's a
Okay,
few questions coming in. Yeah.
The ancient aliens. Well, they wanted to see if Jasper had anything to tell us about this.
Yeah, he was just showing me actually. With the grid lines, what happens is the energy compresses, so it goes in like as much as it's depicted on the outside as a triangle. It also flips in. So yeah, he's going, yes, it becomes like a 3D and inside the Earth too. So the energy of that then can create crystals, can, you know, that's where crystals can form from, is through those energy points as they're coming in interdimensionally. So that's, he's showing me that's where things can form through as well. So, and okay, let's look at the triangle. It's a tetrahedron. So it's actually, you know, purification. It's how I've always seen energy flowing as well. So that's what he just showed me, was that creation point within that energy vortex of the actual triangles or pyramids.
Okay.
So just, yeah.
Okay. Because what they were saying on the show was that the Nazca lines point to Lake Titicaca in Bolivia.
Yep.
They had the people called the Tijuanaco, which thrived 1,000 years ago. So can we ask if the Nazca lines point to Lake Titicaca and let's just say if it points to Lake Titicaca for now.
Okay, let's ask a really simple, straightforward question.
Yeah.
Okay. So really interesting. It's the three of swords has come up, and we've got our 9 of swords. So these are cards to say there was some troubled water, there was a lot of worry and stress, but then the King of Wands has come up. So I feel that this was a solution that was put in place. Because what I'm seeing, yeah, it's definitely a solution that was put in place to help this area of Lake Titicaca. So, you know, they said, well, what can we do? So this is part of that helping aspect we were talking about with the energy lines. And I'm just going to ask another question, because like Lake Titicaca, there's a massive energy, what's the word, gateway that's actually above Lake Titicaca. So
I've also heard there's a ton of ET presence in that lake as well.
And that's why, because of this massive gateway that's there. So that sort of makes a bit of sense. I'd never, ever put that together. I didn't even know about that. So let's just ask to see if we can get some clarity on that. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So the first card up was the Tower. So there was something going on that needed help and support. So, okay, what I'm getting told is that these gateways and vortexes, they were formed, and of course they can change as well. So, and then the next one that came up is the Emperor. To me, the Emperor is something that's very solid, very strong. There's a decision being made. It's actually something's being put in place. And again, our 3 of Wands, which is looking to the future, looking towards to help to see, you know, what's going on. How can we let go of the past? So I would say that, yeah, definitely it was there. That could have been part of the strategy of that energy maneuver as well.
Okay,
So,
wow. So they got
yeah.
that right. I'm shocked. Okay. So elongated skulls were found there. Did these elongated skull, they're saying that they create Tiwanaku. Elongated skulls were found there. Did they create Tiwanaku? Oh, okay. So the people that had the elongated skulls that were found, were they the ones who created Tiwanaku?
So Tiwanaku is the whole area. Is that what you're saying?
I'm assuming that where the Tiwanaku lived around
Yeah.
Lake Titicaca.
Okay. Let's find that out.
Yeah.
It looks like it, because again, we've got our 9 of Cups now.
Okay.
You know, so that's something that they were desiring, was to do that. Again, those individual, unique, incredible creators, because we've got our 9 of Pentacles. So the feminine aspect, and Page of Wands. So it was a learning process. They would have been teaching and learning. So, I mean, with my understanding with the elongated skulls, it's actually a race that were on Earth, and we know that they were in ancient Egyptian times as well, because they've got similar skulls. All the images depict these elongated skulls, and so that allowed them to be extremely like telepathic, psychic, connected to source. And that's where I feel like that Thoth energy comes in again. Is that how it was created? Was like with using the vibration, the sound, the frequency to shift to actually make these perfect images and you know, the lines of where they needed to go, because they were they just could see, feel, sense, know the energy lines of the grid lines of the Earth as well. So they were very unique beings. They were different.
So the Andromedan was asking if they are the Rameh.
Are they Rameh?
Are they Rameh? So the ones with the elongated skulls.
Yeah. So what's Rameh? Is that I've not heard that word before. Is that a type
a race?
A race. Okay.
An ET race is what I'm assuming.
Okay, let's just ask and see. Okay. Okay. The Two of Swords has come up. So for me, that's almost like a no. It's like they're and then we've got
that's a big no.
Big no, yeah. So then we've got the Knight of Pentacles. So it was how do I say this? It was something that was moving forward to help create reality, and we've got our Queen of Swords. So creating with words, with mind, with telepathy, with all of that. I feel it was maybe just going to clarify that for you, the Andromeda, and I'm just going to see if that was actually they were a higher frequency. I don't know anything about the Rameh. So it's like be interesting to see if they were actually a higher frequency or worked differently. So the Queen of Pentacles has come up, and this is contemplating, looking at what we're creating. So I feel it was done more strategically and more from the heart as well. Then So I'd actually love to know more about this Rameh, these Rameh people. Just be a name that's
I have
used.
never heard of it before.
The Andromedan, if you've got some info, drop it in there. That'd be great.
She says you can read them in Elena's book.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so Wolf Love is asking if the Nazca lines are going to be part of disclosure moving forward.
Okay, that's fine.
This show is going to be disclosure moving forward.
That's it. Well, it's sort of just giving us a whole different perspective and way of looking at like our ancient world, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
So, and it may just be the starting point, a beautiful platform to have people ask different questions and get different information or more information, evolved information as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Wolf Love, it's looking good. So this is where we've come from. So we've actually come from being told lies, from actually we're pretty heartbroken really at the end of the day with how we haven't been told all this amazing stuff. Imagine getting this at school. How cool would that be?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I know. How different would we be as beings if we'd had that sort of allowance to be able to tap into our wisdom and source energy, which is what this card is about. Again, it's changing our whole thought processes, moving from one way of thinking or being into another. So that's a yes. And secrets, 4 of Swords, our secrets are hidden. So I feel it may take time because there's going to be so much that's got to be disclosed, and we're talking about basic stuff, aren't we? Like basic human rights has to be disclosed yet. So
Yeah.
I feel this will come out, and people that have an interest in it, it's like they'll get drawn into groups like this where they can ask questions and they can have then start tuning in differently, and so it's almost like everyone goes to the different sort of area or group that's right for their frequency and what they want to know.
Yeah,
Great
absolutely.
question.
Very good. So the last question is, what happened to the Nazca and the Tijuanaco people? They
Yeah.
disappeared. Did they disappear at the same time? Was it flood or cosmic war or something else? So let's see if we can get an answer, and if Jasper can pipe
It's
in as
funny you
well.
say that. Jasper was just coming through. So your intuition's spot on, Elisa. He was just showing me, I'll do cards as well, but he was just showing me all of this light. It was like there was a huge shift in frequency, and almost like they didn't need to be here anymore. So it was almost like a move into another dimension. It's like the job was done. But I'll just double check this.
Interesting, because I went to Montezuma Castle in is it Arizona? Yeah, in Arizona, and it's close to Sedona. It's 30 minutes from Sedona, and it's this castle that's inserted inside a mountain, and that's exactly. So my friend Maree was with me. She's a psychic medium, and she was interviewing the chief that had lived on this thing. And I said, "What happened to them?" And that's they were saying, like, later on they just ascended. They just moved to 5D, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Absolutely. The Fool card. They just disappeared. They right time, right moment, off the cliff, literally. That they left. And then we've got the 6 of Cups, which is being offered something, but then deciding what it is you actually want to take. So a 6 is a moving forward or a moving emotionally as well. So this was definitely all heart-based, all connected in. And the next one's Temperance. My God, how often has this card come up today? Again, what does this one mean? You all know it by now. It's moving place, moving situation, moving house, moving whatever. They moved on. So that's what the cards are saying. They're just confirming what Jasper showed me. So thanks,
that we
Jasper.
can say, thank you, Jasper. So they basically ascended, is what happened.
Yeah, the feeling I'm getting from what Jasper's showing me is they could choose to do that. So it wasn't like a process they were going through per se. It was more that they can choose to go into dimension.
Right, because they were already in that place. Yeah. Okay.
So
All right. Okay, very good. Very good. Are the Nazca and the Tijuanaco people connected in any way?
Okay, let's find out. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, yep, I'll pull the cards, but I'm already getting some images of stuff. So
and that's our last question for today.
Okay. Wow, this is okay. Wow. So the first card is our 5 of Cups. So it means there was a change, there was a shift in an emotional aspect. So they're looking at the 3 cups that have fallen over, but at the back end, there's still 2 beautiful full cups. So, and then oh, you're not going to believe this. Temperance came up again, and then the Wheel of Fortune. So definitely movement. And what I was getting an image of, even before these cards come up, I don't make this stuff up, believe me, they just happen, was there was a deep connection energetically from that aspect. So going through the earth. So I was shown this beautiful energetic connection through the earth into the lake, or that area. So, yeah, I would say definitely there was. Yeah, whether it was energetic, whether it was a DNA thing. That's,
Mm-hmm,
they'd
mm-hmm.
moved away from earlier, but they were still very, very connected.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think, Elisa?
I don't get anything with that.
Mm.
I'm not sure.
Yep.
I'm not sure.
It's okay. But I felt like there was definitely a spiritual connection, and there could have been a DNA connection from before as well.
Okay, so I was trying to see the season, because we're going to talk about megaliths in the next show, and
Mm-hmm.
I wanted everybody to have the right episode to go and look. Let's see if I can find the megaliths. If I can't find it, I will have to post it on there. Oh, here we go. I think it's season 5, episode 12. I think. So go for season 5, episode 12, and see if you guys have write down your questions. Other questions that are not. I'm going to write down the questions that, or I already wrote down the questions that I saw on there. But they talk about the Utah monolith.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if do you remember that one?
I don't know that one. No, this is great because I don't know anything about that. I mean, I have been to I've been to the US a few times, and I have been to some of Sedona and some of those areas, but don't know anything about it. So great.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I was hoping to connect the Utah monolith. It was something that just appeared not long ago out of nowhere. It's a metal thing, a metal.
Gotcha.
Let's see.
Almost like an obelisk.
Yes, I'll show it to you so people.
We had some in Australia too, and people were wondering what they were. I didn't feel it was anything.
This.
Yes, it
So
was.
this.
Yeah.
So then they were they said this just appeared out of nowhere, and then it then later on, of course, started appearing in other places. I personally think that the other ones might have been like copycats.
Yeah.
But I felt this initial one, there was something to it. And so anyway, I think it's going to be really cool to talk about this. So
wow.
I just have to find the episode that I watched that I had it, because there have been several Ancient Alien episodes about monoliths and megaliths. So
And, so can I ask you, do you know how far down into the ground that is? Is it a long way in, or do you know anything about it?
Yeah, let me see if they had said yeah, I don't have it here.
Okay, no, that's all right. No, I was just intrigued. I hadn't really seen that one before. So
yeah,
but I know there was a couple that popped up in Australia somewhere.
Yeah, this was like
18 months ago.
3 years. Yeah, like 3 years, 2 years ago. I don't know.
It wasn't that long, was it?
Yeah, I'm not good with time.
I thought in Australia, I thought it was during the last 2 years while we're going through all this crazy stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, I won't keep you guys, but yes, we're going to talk about Stonehenge, about any of those. Bring your questions. All right. So I hope to see you guys. And then tomorrow, Maree, do we have a continuation of the elementals of the plants?
Yes, if you're up for it.
Oh, actually, no, I forgot. My brother's here from Panama, and I'm having dinner with the family.
Beautiful.
So yeah,
we got next week.
Yeah, we got to skip tomorrow. So so we'll do it next week. Yeah. So let's see. And then we're gonna do this next week as well, Monday,
Yep.
or
Yeah, so that's my Tuesday morning. Yep. Yes, if you're up for it.
okay. All right.
Depending on your timing. Otherwise, we could make it fortnightly if you've got too much on. But otherwise, we can
Yeah,
still do
we
it
can
weekly
leave.
at the moment.
Yeah, we
Or
can
whatever you
leave
want to do.
this for Mondays and the other one for Fridays.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, very
Sounds
cool.
good.
All right,
right.
guys, thank you so much for watching.
Thanks,
And
guys.
we'll
See
see
you.
you next week. Have a good weekend.